A global force introducing Vladimir Putin, written by Stephen Lee Myers from the New York Times. Vladimir Putin. The name alone evokes strong reactions around the world. A former spy, a long-serving president, a figure of immense power and controversy. His story is deeply intertwined with Russia's own, a tale of ambition and resilience. From the streets of Leningrad to the halls of the Kremlin, Putin's journey has been marked by remarkable achievements. This is the story of a man who has reshaped Russia. Leningrad's son, early life and hardships. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin was born in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, in 1952. Life in post-war Leningrad was difficult. The city bore deep scars from the devastating siege during World War II. Putin's family lived a modest life in a communal apartment, sharing their living space with other families. His father worked as a factory machinist while his mother held various jobs. Putin's childhood was marked by hardship and resilience, traits that would later define his character. Despite the challenges, Putin excelled in school, showing a particular aptitude for learning. The making of a spy. Putin's KGB years. In 1975, Putin fulfilled his childhood dream by joining the KGB, the Soviet Union's formidable intelligence agency. The KGB was tasked with protecting the Soviet state from internal and external threats, and its officers were highly trained in espionage, counterintelligence, and covert operations. Putin's sharp intellect, discipline, and ambition served him well in this demanding environment. After completing his training, Putin was assigned to East Germany, where he spent 5 years monitoring political developments and recruiting informants. This experience provided him with invaluable insights into the inner workings of power and international relations. It was during this period that Putin witnessed firsthand the decline of Soviet influence and the growing unrest that would ultimately lead to the collapse of the Soviet Empire. From St. Petersburg to Moscow, the rise to power. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 and the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991 had a profound impact on Putin. Returning to a Russia in turmoil, he left the KGB and entered politics in his hometown of St. Petersburg. He quickly rose through the ranks, gaining a reputation for competence, loyalty, and ruthless pragmatism. Putin's rise to national prominence began in 1998, when he was appointed director of the Federal Security Service. In this role, he oversaw Russia's intelligence apparatus and played a key role in shaping the country's security response. His performance caught the attention of then-President Boris Yeltsin, who was struggling amidst economic chaos and political instability. In a surprising move, Yeltsin appointed Putin as Prime Minister in 1999, setting the stage for a dramatic transfer of power. On December 31, 1999, Boris Yeltsin unexpectedly resigned, naming Vladimir Putin as acting president. Putin officially assumed the presidency after winning the 2000 election, marking the beginning of an era that would redefine Russia's place in the world. Putin inherited a country in crisis. The economy was in shambles, oligarchs held immense power, and Chechnya was engulfed in a brutal war for independence. Putin acted decisively to consolidate power and restore order. He implemented economic reforms that stabilized the ruble and reined in the oligarchs. He launched a second Chechen war that ultimately crushed the rebellion, but resulted in significant civilian casualties and accusations of human rights abuses. Putin's presidency was marked by a complex interplay of authoritarianism and modernization. He centralized power, cracked down on independent media, and silenced political opponents. At the same time, he invested in infrastructure, education, and social programs, seeking to improve the lives of ordinary Russians and restore national pride. Projecting power. Putin on the world stage. As Russia regained its footing economically and politically, Putin turned his attention to reasserting Russia's influence on the global stage. He adopted a more assertive foreign policy, challenging Western dominance and seeking to restore Russia's status as a great power. This shift was evident in Russia's interventions in Georgia in 2008 and Ukraine in 2014, its military support for the Assad regime in Syria, and its increasingly confrontational stance towards NATO. Putin's actions on the world stage have been met with a mix of admiration and alarm. His supporters praise him for standing up to the West, defending Russian interests and restoring Russia's position as a force to be reckoned with. His critics accuse him of aggression, expansionism, and undermining the international order. The annexation of Crimea in 2014, widely condemned as a violation of international law, marked a turning point in East-West relations. It also led to Russia's expulsion from the G8 and triggered a series of economic sanctions that have strained the Russian economy. Putin's alleged interference in the 2016 US presidential election further heightened tensions with the West, casting a long shadow over global politics. A tight-grip dissent and controversy at home. Putin's assertive foreign policy and increasingly authoritarian domestic policies have drawn criticism both at home and abroad. Opposition figures, human rights groups, and independent journalists have accused his government of corruption and suppression of dissent. Protests have been met with police crackdowns, and several prominent opposition figures have been jailed or forced into exile. Despite these challenges, Putin has maintained a firm grip on power. He enjoys high approval ratings among the Russian public, many of whom credit him with restoring stability and economic growth. The weight of legacy Putin's enduring impact. Vladimir Putin's impact on Russia and the world is undeniable. He inherited a country in chaos and transformed it into a resurgent power. He has restored national pride, challenged the West, and redefined Russia's role in the 21st century. However, his achievements have come at a steep price. His rule has been marked by authoritarianism and human rights abuses. Putin's legacy is complex and contested. He will be remembered as a transformative leader who restored Russia's strength, but also as an autocrat. His actions have had a profound impact on Russia's trajectory. The future unfolds. Russia beyond Putin. As of 2025, Vladimir Putin's hold on power shows no signs of weakening. He has amended the Russian constitution, allowing him to potentially remain in office until 2036. However, the question of what comes after Putin looms large. Russia faces significant challenges, including a stagnant economy and international isolation. The future of Russia remains uncertain. Will Putin's successor continue his course, or will Russia chart a new path? The answers to these questions will have profound implications for Russia and the world.